Welcome to Proclaim, a presentation of the Catholic Diocese of Alexandria. Join us as we journey together through the Scriptures revealed to us by God.
Welcome to Proclaim. Now John begins to tell us of another extraordinary experience that the disciples of Jesus will have. It says, when it was evening, his disciples went down to the sea, embarked in a boat, and went across the sea to Capernaum. Again, because of the way that the lake could become very dangerous, they usually would not spend the night in a dangerous area. So to go back to Capernaum would have been a fairly common experience, and considering that at least some of his disciples were clearly fishermen with experience, it doesn't seem that strange. However, the journey doesn't work out quite the way they probably envisioned. He says it had already grown dark, and Jesus had not yet come to them, and yet they're leaving, which certainly makes us wonder. And if the Gospels were merely giving us factual data as a modern history writer might give, this certainly leaves many, many questions of why his own disciples would abandon him. But as we've seen so many times already, the Scriptures are meant to help us to understand the meanings of things and not necessarily to give us a detailed chronology to satisfy our curiosity. And so by Jesus not being with them, it provides the scene for him to come to them in an extraordinary way, told a little bit differently by John, but essentially the same story that we find in Matthew and Mark's account, again following the feeding of the large crowd, a way of demonstrating Jesus' power.
This program was brought to you by Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital.